we have samples, cocktails, and mocktails.
Nice.
So it's no different from last year. We just turned it up a little, but
Turned
it's
it
no
up a notch.
yes.
Fascinating
Yes.
stuff. So we are just moments away from the arrival of His Excellency, the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali. And so we're waiting. Once President Ali gets here, we know that the program is officially started.
Yes.
And so those folks keep streaming in here today. But how do you feel, given that you are a member of the organizing committee? You're here now, after all of that hard work. You look around and you see that everything is now coming into fruition. All those stalls are ready, the booths are ready, and everybody's streaming in.
Excited, very excited. And again, congratulations to the team. There are some faces you don't see, but they're the faces that really drive what is happening here today.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can take a minute to say congratulations to Manetto and Kimi and the team,
Yeah.
led again by the minister and the PS.
Yeah.
And so all the support persons, plenty work
really
with.
team effort,
Yes.
real team effort indeed.
Real team effort. And
Yeah.
I mean, even while you were here, you saw me running up and down, trying to get the vehicles to move. And, you know, it's all the moving parts came together today.
Yeah, and I must congratulate you on the work that you've done. But what we can do now, we will be joined by the chairman of the Private Sector Commission, Mr. Kumal Singh. So if I invite him over here so we can have a conversation, because you were talking about how important this is for the private sector and with all the companies that are represented here as part of that. What that means for the private sector in terms of business and how the private sector contributes to the growing of the economy, so to speak.
Sure. So I'll hand the mic over to...
So we'll just invite the chairman of the Private Sector Commission to join me here on set. Mr. Singh, good evening. How are you doing this evening?
Fine, thank you. Very exciting evening for all of us, I think.
Yeah, an exciting evening indeed for the country, but more so for the private sector.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, every activity of this nature, it's an exciting opportunity and time for the private sector. It creates a whole host of economic opportunity. It creates an environment where our private sector businesses can showcase their goods and services. It creates an environment where the private sector can meet new customer, new marketing people, and a wider platform for the private sector to thrive.
Yeah, and you're talking about so many companies that are coming from overseas as well and taking an interest in GuyExpo. How important is that? Because you mentioned that partnership. How important is that for the private sector?
A year from now, when the gas energy project is completed, energy cost is going to cut by 50%. And that means a lot for the manufacturing sector. It therefore means Guyana is going to be developing massively, and you will see tremendous growth in the manufacturing sector. Obviously, with our small population, we will be having a net export position. And then we'll now have to look for marketing outside of the shores of Guyana. This environment creates an opportunity for businesses way ahead of time to create those partnerships, create those opportunities with foreign companies. So the time when they have net export position and they want to export their goods and services, they will now be able to capture existing partners within the region and outside of the region also.
Yeah.
So these environments with foreign companies participating, it's an excellent opportunity for the private sector.
Yeah, and certainly with the amount of investments we've seen in the private sector in terms of those little companies, because one of the things I was telling Alison a little while ago, and you alluded to, is those small companies, those little agro-processors, you're giving them a chance, but in terms of investment, the government has invested significantly in ensuring that those companies have an opportunity as well to expand their businesses. How satisfied are you from the private sector's
the private
level?
sector have an opportunity of a lifetime. We have a government that is private sector sensitive. We have a government that creates an enable environment for the private sector, and not just for the bigger companies in the private sector. You've looked at the enormous amount of measures that government have put out so far. It goes right down to the smaller businesses. It creates environment for these smaller businesses to grow and develop, to meet different level in the organization into the private sector. And for that, from a private sector standpoint, we are very, very much happy to see the support that we're getting from government. And not just government, we see the support we're getting from the private sector in terms of them taking the risk and the opportunity that exists around them and capitalizing on it and developing them skills and grow the businesses from time to time.
Yeah, this year we're featuring almost 300 companies here at GuyExpo. But I was talking to Alison a little while ago about the mere fact that you have companies represented from every single region. The private sector in itself is certainly growing, and we're looking at the economy, which is thriving, the fastest growing economy in the world. What does that mean for those far-flung communities where we're now looking to get into certain types of products? Because you're talking about diversifying the economy, corn and soya, beans, and all of these things. How happy are you that those companies and businesses in those regions are getting an opportunity as well?
Look, the opportunity that exists in Guyana is more than enough for Guyanese. The entire region will benefit from the development and the transformation that is taking place in Guyana. And for that, we're also very happy to see that regional companies are also embracing the growth and development that is taking place here. And every single expo you see in Guyana, you see a wide cross-section of companies from almost every single country in the region participating in those expos. So we're very, very elated.
Yeah. Thank you so much, the private sector chairman there, Mr. Kumar Singh. Thank you again for joining us. We're going to be joined now by the minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water. That's Ms. Susan Rodriguez, the Honorable Susan Rodriguez. She's going to join me on set. We're going to talk about this here being one of the important exhibitions, but we know we just came out of Building Expo as well. So this is another one of those that highlights and showcases Guyana, so to speak. How happy are you that we're at this point this year where we can say that indeed we are at a point where Guyana is indeed on show?
Well, yeah, Guyana is on show every day, as far as I'm concerned, because the eyes of the world are on Guyana. And people are watching, people are looking at us for leadership, people are looking at us for example, people are looking at Guyana to grow and develop into a bright shining star.
Yeah.
And we have the leadership to do that. And we're going to ensure that Guyana realizes all of its potential. As you mentioned, we just came out of Building Expo, which was very, very successful, an expo that I'm extremely proud of. And this expo, one of the oldest expo, GuyExpo, brings back fond memories.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I'm
for
certain.
many Guyanese, and especially when you're kids and you come out to GuyExpo with your parents, especially teenagers. I would come with my friends in my teenage years, and we have very, very fond memories of GuyExpo.
Yeah.
So there's always something to look forward to here.
Yeah, we are talking about the Guyana on show, the fastest growing economy. I'm going to zoom into your particular sector now, which is housing and water. We've seen enormous and tremendous amount of growth in the housing sector. What can we expect moving forward? We're coming to the end of this year. I know you've been working very, very hard. In terms of those measures that have been announced in terms of assisting those folks who are looking to get their home started, because talking about the steel, cement, the steel and cement project.
Yes.
How significant is that, and how has that been able to help a lot of the folks from around the country?
Yeah, well, the steel and cement subsidy is one of the initiatives, just one of the initiatives that we have introduced to help people to afford home ownership. The ministry has been predominantly focused on home ownership and not only land ownership. So moving people past that stage, helping people to construct their homes through various mechanisms and programs. The steel and cement being one of them, which has been very successful and very helpful to get people started. Similarly, we've worked with the banks to reduce interest rates, helping people to access a loan more easily. We have the banks who accompany us on all of our community land allocation events, which removes the bureaucracy, removes all of the red tape, make the banking system more accessible to Guyanese. We have increased the mortgage interest relief, for which people claim a rebate at the end of the year, so they get a deduction on their tax returns. That's another very helpful policy to help people to afford home ownership.
Yeah, and you're talking about the fastest growing economy. Obviously, a lot more businesses are being created, and that creates an avenue for your ministry, obviously, because folks are going to be applying for land. They want to start new businesses. What have you seen from your ministry in terms of the commercial aspect of things, in terms of businesses coming in to Guyana?
Yeah, well, the commercial list is growing. And one thing people don't understand about commercial allocations, one is market value. So the commercial lots are not subsidized like the residential lots. But apart from that, we have a lot of people who we have to give consideration to in terms of the type of business that you're doing. So it takes proper planning, proper zoning. So you can't really just allocate commercial land as people come, because you have to strategically place businesses next to similar type businesses. So you can't mix the industrial with the commercial and so on. But the private sector is excited about the economy. We see the growth in the banking sector. Every quarter, we're seeing the growth in the loan portfolios at all of our banking institutions. We see the reports of profits. So we know the economy is doing well. The numbers don't lie. And the people of the country will be the beneficiaries of that.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Minister Rodriguez, for talking to us. That was the Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodriguez, talking to us here. So we're now about to witness the arrival of the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali. So we'll allow you, because we are going to be standing for the national anthem as the President makes his entrance into the venue.
The Prime Minister.
So it is actually the arrival of the Prime Minister of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, who's actually making his way into the area, and then he'll be followed by the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. We're getting very, very close to the start of this particular aspect of the program, which is going to be the opening, the official opening of GuyExpo 2024. It is Guyana on show, the fastest growing economy. I'm now joined again by Alison. Alison, so much is happening, but when I spoke to Minister Rodriguez just now, and you got a sense of, in terms of the transformation aspect that we're talking about, everything that's happening in the different regions across the country, and what that means for businesses.
You have to be blind not to see.
Yeah.
You have to be blind not to see what is happening all across the country. And as we said, this is another opportunity to highlight what is happening all across the country. You pointed out that this is not Region 4 based exhibitors. We have exhibitors from all across the country, which is very important. The transformation is national.
Yeah, definitely. And again, we're talking about what that means for businesses, with the fact that we're seeing so much investment in our small businesses. We're seeing all of the investments from companies overseas, because you have a lot of foreign companies that are taking interest in Guyana. We note that we are the fastest growing economy in the world, but that in itself creates those opportunities for those locals, and that's why I'm excited. GuyExpo is now one of the forums that offers these little companies, those small businesses, that opportunity to grow their business.
Yes, and as I said, they're here neck and neck with the larger businesses. They're not excluded, which is very important. And you know, part of the drive and the mission of the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce is small business growth. You know, we have the Small Business Bureau, which falls under the ministry. So here again, we're demonstrating our interest, not just in words, but by actions in the development and growth of small businesses all across Guyana.
Certainly. All right, for those folks who wouldn't be looking to come down to the Safari Exhibition Complex, let's talk about the layout here. Where can folks find what? The very first area is that little circular area. What is found there?
When you come there, you have the GBTI, you have in the booths around there. You have GB, you have the financial services, you have some agro processors, both large and small agro processors. You have the Guyana National Bureau of Standards. You have Luminous just
on the outskirts there. Yeah.
Suri, Suri Manufacturing. As you come along, you see some other small distributors and manufacturers. You have to the immediate left, the food court. You notice every time I say food court, my eyes light up. And I give that smile.
But you do have the main auditorium as well. What is found in the main auditorium?
You have Namelco. As soon as you enter, you have Namelco on the left. And I told you this is a major platform for Namelco. And when you go further in, you have the variety. You have the arts and crafts. You have Andrew's Pottery, and you should check Andrew's Pottery. He said this forum has been an important one for him in terms of the growth of his business also. You have the new GPC. You have a variety of exhibitors from all sectors, across all sectors.
Yeah.
Just outside of that main auditorium, you have the horticulture folks. Just beyond there, you have the services pavilion.
Yeah.
And there, I'm glad that you raised that. On the services pavilion, you can get information. You come here, you have NIS, you have the Natural Resources Ministry, you have Ministry of Education, you have the Consumer Affairs Department, the CCAC, Dubé's Medical. There are a number of businesses in there.
Yeah.
You can, if you want to donate blood, you have the the blood donation unit right here. They're just obliquely opposite the Guyana Tourism Authority. And so if you want to give that pint to save a life, you can take the opportunity here to give that.
GuyExpo is not only about those small agro-processors or those major businesses. You talk about these services. It's really fascinating because you do have folks who may have some concerns or some issues with NIS, so they can actually come down here and get some
they
services.
They have their
Access and
full
services.
team there. So you can come and get information. You might be too busy otherwise. You might not get the opportunity. Here's the opportunity. You have GRE.
Wow.
You may want to find out about that mortgage relief that you applied for. You may want to find out something about driver's license. Just something you want. You always, that question you've always had in your head, but they're here now and they're accessible. Let me ask them.
Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's literally everything in one location. It doesn't matter what you're looking for. You can have access to it right here at the Sophia Exhibition Complex, because we are talking about GuyExpo 2024. Let's get back to some of the work that you guys had to put in to get to where we are. You mentioned it was a collective effort.
It was
but now that you guys you look around and you see all these people coming in, what is going through your mind at the moment?
Excitement, satisfaction, that everything that was done has paid off.
Has paid off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything. Right? I'm excited, very excited.
And I'm excited as well because we are just minutes away from the arrival.
Is this your first GuyExpo?
Yeah. What? Listen, so the president is going to be arriving, and as soon as the president gets here, we are going to start the official program.
Yes.
But again, for those folks who are just joining us, what can we expect as part of the program?
All right. Yes, so let me tell you what we can expect for the official program. We have you're hearing in the background, the Police Steel Orchestra. You have Nuria Gerard will chair the program. She's the MC. We have a song, Oh Beautiful Guyana, by Miss Lois. We have remarks by Mr. Komal Singh, chairman of the Private Sector Commission.
Yeah.
We have a folk song medley. Our very own minister, Honorable Onesh Waldron, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce. She will give remarks. We'll have a cultural presentation and then the feature address by His Excellency.
Awesome stuff. So we are in the month of November, like I mentioned, it's Tourism Awareness Month. We're heading into the Christmas season. And you know, Guyanese, we love those deals. We love those steals. And Christmas time is like the time. And then you have Black Friday at the end of this month as well. So in terms of those deals, companies will be offering deals here as part of GuyExpo.
They do. They do all of the time. As a matter of fact, this morning, even the financial institutions are going to, I know one would launch their promotions here this evening. I was listening to, I think it was GBTI this morning on the radio, and they have 3 promotions that they're launching here tonight to the benefit of the patrons here. And
Awesome.
even if you are not a member of their bank, a customer of their bank, right? So they have these promotions, and I know others. I know in the Melco they do tasting, do offerings. There's so many promotions that would happen here.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure.
Listen, a lot of thought definitely went into the organizing of this entire expo. Now, you were critical to that because you are part of the organizing committee.
A small part.
A small part.
There,
but you played your part nonetheless.
Yes, I've said to you, there are those who you may not see, but who are very, very critical to everything that happened here.
Very, very critical
And will
indeed.
happen here over the next 4 days.
4 days. So we're starting tonight. We run until Sunday.
Sunday, yes.
What are the opening times? What times? I know you do have special times
I'm
for
glad that you asked that.
children
Tomorrow,
as well. School children.
From 12. We've invited the schools, so they come from 12 tomorrow. All the other days we open at 2, from 2. And we go until after 10 and after.
So from 2 daily, but
10.
just tomorrow you're opening from earlier
12,
because to accommodate those
yes,
school children.
yes.
And you mentioned the folks, the children from 10 and under, they don't have to pay?
10 and under, free.
Yeah, they're free.
Yes, they're free. And the adults, $500.
Just $500. Small amount.
$500, I mean,
Indeed.
to
And
pay
obviously
for
you do
all
have
of
secure
this.
parking as well.
Secure parking, you pay $1,000. We encourage you to buy your tickets before you get here.
Yeah.
Spend your time in this vicinity by coming in the gate, not stopping to buy tickets and you're in the line
Yeah.
and so on. Check our Facebook page, GuyExpo, and you see the list of, and the list is, it's, as we said, the exhibitors are not Region 4 or Georgetown based, and the same way the ticket locations are not. So we have locations in Berbice, we have locations in Region 3, we have locations on the East Coast, the East Bank, we have ticket locations all around. So
And the Guyana on show, I can tell you, as soon as you make your way into the Sapphire Exhibition Complex from the front, you have that huge screen that is up there, and it has "Welcome to GuyExpo 2024." But then there's that nicely decorated pathway that leads into here. I was so fascinated by that, the way it looks, because Guyana really is on show.
And even that part of the roundabout, you can take their benches around there. You can sit, take a lovely photograph for Instagram.
You know the posts like the IG, the post on IG?
Yes. I'm at GuyExpo, or I was at GuyExpo. Make sure you take that photograph out there to show off and brag to your friends that you came here.
Indeed. So we're being serenaded by the police orchestra at the moment as we await the arrival of the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohamed Irfan. As soon as the President gets here, the program gets on the way. A little while ago, we saw the arrival of the Prime Minister of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, retired Brigadier Mark Phillips. We saw some ministers as well making their way into the venue. I saw the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports a little while ago, Mr. Charles Ramson Jr.
I think I saw the Minister of Health.
Yes, Minister of Health as well is here, Dr. Frank Anthony. Also, I saw the Minister
of Foreign
within
Affairs.
the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs as well.
Yes.
Kwame McCoy as well.
Yes,
I saw him
too.
ago.
And the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Foreign Affairs is here. Yes, definitely, Mr. Utah. And all the other ministries are represented. We saw some permanent secretaries coming in as well, and diplomats. We can't forget, our diplomatic corps, members of the diplomatic corps as well. And what I like about this is the fact that everybody who is here, there's that sense of family, so to speak. Because everybody, there's that camaraderie.
It's a wonderful atmosphere. You
Yes.
have to come here to experience. It's a wonderful atmosphere. It has always been that way somehow. Something about GuyExpo. It's nostalgic for me, and now that I'm involved in it, it's a lovely event.
Yeah. Started in 1995, we're in 2024. It has evolved over the years. You mentioned how nostalgic it is, but it really hasn't lost that sense of family like we were talking about a little while ago. But for you though, you were here in 1995. You're looking around at the booths, because I want to talk about that. Gone are the days when you go to some exhibitions and the booths are just looking like booths.
They're just bland.
But they're just bland. But now the exhibitors have gone so far to ensure that the booths, one, they're air conditioned, because you have air conditioned booths, and it's just the way it looks. It's pleasing aesthetically.
Yes, the standards, it goes with our new international standard.
Yeah.
So I think we're catching up. And it's the opportunity to do so, to catch up and to show. If we're showing off Guyana,
Once again, I want to invite you to take
show
up
off
the seats.
Guyana,
of course,
in the best way possible.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree with you more. You're talking about improving our standards. You look at the packaging, because when you go to the supermarkets and you see some of the products that are on the shelf from maybe one of those far-flung communities in Region 1 or maybe in Region 9,
It surprises
the
me.
packaging is
It
amazing.
surprises me sometimes. I pick up something and I look at it's made in Guyana, and the packaging is first class.
First class.
So we are getting there. It's not where, long ago you put it in that plastic bag and you pass the matches or the mosquito coil or something.
Yeah, just to seal the package.
Yes, we are first class.
Certainly.
No,
And that is definitely what you're going to be seeing on Showcase here. You're talking about those booths a little while ago. I saw the guys putting up the images on your screen. Those air-conditioned booths, if you're coming here, you're going to be comfortable. I know it gets a little bit humid at times, but
once
I
you
know,
have the body mask,
it will get humid. But you do have air conditioning in those booths as well, or the auditorium auditorium, so to speak, where you have those.
And you have the big fans where you
those
don't
major
have the
fans
booths.
as well.
Yes.
So folks can be comfortable.
Yes.
So you don't need to worry. Come down to the Sophia Exhibition Complex. It is the official opening of GuyExpo 2024. It's going to be a family-oriented affair for the next 3 nights thereabout.
Yes.
Let me see, my math is correct. It's Thursday night, we're ending on Sunday.
Yes.
4 nights.
4 nights.
4 nights. Entertainment is going to be on par.
Yes.
Food, drinks, everything you can talk about, and lots for the children to do as well.
And I want to remind you, I have to say it again, visit the Guyana Tourism Authority tourism village.
Yeah.
It's a must. You
Go
must
to Kaitro
visit.
Falls for free.
Yes, go to Kaitro. Those people who may have just joined, you can go to Kaitro Falls for free at the Guyana Tourism Authority village.
We're not saying that we're sending you to Kaitro Falls for
You're
free.
going,
we're just
but
saying
we're not
virtually. Virtually, you can visit the Kaitro Falls for free because
Yes,
there is
with
that
the
space
VR,
there for that
yes,
as well.
the VR, through
Yeah.
the VR gear. You can go to the Kaitro. You can do
Awesome.
some golfing. Next Gen is there. You can do some golfing, and you're golfing through the Kaitro Falls.
Awesome stuff. And then you do have those cocktails and those mocktails,
And the
which was a hit
mocktails,
last
and you have
year.
the sushi.
Yeah,
you have the
sushi as
sushi
well.
chef. Yes, you have the sushi chef. You have the singing chef.
Oh, the singing
Yeah.
chef is going to be here featured.
Yes, he's going
Nice.
to be there. You have and Carnegie.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an opportunity for the Carnegie School of Home Economics to be a part of that tourism village.
Listen, you're telling me all of these things, and if you are not enticed at home to come down to the Sophia Exhibition Complex, then you definitely need to find something else to do. And I'm saying this will offer you the perfect getaway, so to speak, for the weekend. You know, you might have had a hard week at work. You probably just want to head out of the house with the family, with the children, or maybe you want to come alone. You know, just come and relax. You have everything to do right here.
You can come one night alone, and then the next night you
Bring
can
the
come.
children.
Yes.
You know, she's saying don't leave the children at home. Bring the children out if you're coming.
course.
And again, in terms of the cost, it's very affordable. Just $500.
It is $500.
And for children under 10 is free.
Children under 10 free.
Yeah.
Just come buy your tickets before and ensure you come in here. For
But in
those
terms
who
of
want-
ticket locations, person can pay at the gate, but if they want to buy tickets in some of those locations before they get here, they can do so as well?
Yes, that's why we've set up those locations to make life easy for the patrons who want
Who
to
are
come
coming.
here. Yeah, so if you live in Georgetown, there are ticketing locations in Georgetown. If you live in Region 3, there are ticketing locations in Region 3. Off my head, I can remember Berbice, you have Spreadies. On the East Bank, I think there's M&M. You have Andrew's Supermarket. Off the top of my head, I can tell you some
Yeah,
of. But
so you
you
do have
can
ticket
go. It's
locations in
easy.
those far-flung
Yes,
areas as well.
yes, it's easy to go to our Facebook page, GuyExpo, just GuyExpo, and check the ticketing locations.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about security like you mentioned earlier.
Oh,
because
our
we do
security, we have the
officers here
police,
and your security,
police
internal
force
security
and
team.
internal security. And so you can be assured, as you said earlier, it's a safe space,
Yeah.
safe environment, and just come and have a good time
Come and
with
have a
yourself
good
and
time.
family.
Over 283 booths, close to 300.
Yes, close
Over
to 300.
See, 300 booths thereabout are here exhibiting their
And
products.
our aim was 220.
And the aim was 220. So they've far exceeded what they were anticipating. You do have those companies from the United States, companies from China, companies from Canada, from Barbados. I'm told Grenada has
Yes,
a presence. St. Lucia
yes.
has a presence here as well.
Yes, and South Korea. Yes.
South Korea, can you
Yes.
imagine that?
Yes.
Guyana really is on show for 2024 as we are looking to celebrate all that we've been able to accomplish as a nation. It is the fastest growing economy in the world, and it will be on show here at GuyExpo. And again, we're just minutes away. We're waiting the arrival of the
His
President of the
Excellency.
Cooperative
Yes.
Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali. And I know for sure if you are in the vicinity of the Sophia Exhibition Complex, you may want to know, well, in terms of traffic on the outside, I just came in a little while ago. Traffic is flowing very smoothly
Yes,
along that area there.
Like
just
last
on the
year,
outskirts.
we worked. Let me tell you, this is a collective effort, and let me say thanks to the Guyana Power and Light, the Guyana Police Force, the Guyana Water Inc., the Guyana Fire Service, the Ministry of Health. They were part of our safety and security team. And so what you see there is a smooth traffic. It's all part of the planning
Yeah.
and their involvement in this whole
And the
process and the
collaborative work.
collaborative work of those departments and agencies. The Ministry of Health, we have the ambulance service here.
Okay.
Should something happen, we don't want that. We
Yeah.
even considered disaster preparedness plan we have.
And that's important as well.
Yes, right? So this is the level that we have taken this GuyExpo event to.
And for those folks who are looking for entertainment, the entertainment bit, because you mentioned Calvin Burnett, you
Yes.
mentioned Shakti Strings as well.
Shakti Strings.
Gonna be here.
Yes, we have Sonia Singh. We have OTK, that's
OKC.
it? OKC, yes. Some of
OKC,
the, yes,
yeah.
we have some of those performers
Yeah.
that will be here on various nights.
Awesome stuff. So it is GuyExpo. It all gates open from 2 p.m.
Yes.
daily. But obviously you want the entertainment bit to come in the evening. And obviously
They
the
can come and
environment-
come back.
Well, she did say you can come in the day, you go home, and you can come back. Because
Yeah.
it really creates for that. Because you guys
Yes.
go until 10
Yes.
in the evening.
Yes.
And you got drinks, you got food, you got everything.
You
here.
can relax.
And relax as
you
well.
walk, relax. Remember I said also to wear comfortable footwear?
Yeah, you should say that. You did
Because
say that
you
for
want
real.
to, yes, you
Yeah.
want to visit every single booth
Yeah.
while you're here.
Over 300 of them, 300
Yes.
of them. So
Yes.
you got to be able to come prepared to ensure that you access everything that is on show here as part of GuyExpo
Walk with your
2024.
shopping bag, Justin.
Well, the shopping bags, you may go to some of those booths and
And
they
you
may
get
give
a
you
bag.
some of those bags to take away. You know, so that's the beauty about GuyExpo
Exactly.
because those things that you're buying, it's going to be cheaper prices from what you probably pay on the road.
The promotions,
because
you get the
are
promotions
on.
here, yes.
Yeah,
You get the promotions
certainly.
here.
All right, again, we're just moments away from the official start of our GuyExpo 2024. We are awaiting the arrival of His Excellency, the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohamed Irfanali. But the guests keep streaming in. You see a lot of folks that are walking around with their families.
Yes.
Walking around. One of the things I like is that children are always so excited. They're excited when they see certain things. And I think this is one of those environments where children will feel very, very comfortable because you got the ice cream stand.
You have the
got
ice cream,
those
you have the merry-go-round.
merry-go-round and all that
you
stuff
have
for children.
the hoop, yes.
You know what I mean? So bring the children
You have
down.
the games.
Yeah.
And I said not just the physical games, but the educational games. You have educational games too. So it's a variety.
Variety
and it's
of things
well
to do.
organized.
Awesome
well
stuff.
organized.
Yeah, and right now we're being serenaded by the police orchestra. We know they're going to play a very integral role in the program in just a moment or so. And as we continue to bring you coverage here, we certainly want to thank all the guys who are working very, very hard to bring you this production, the team from the National Communications Network. And I saw the drone up a little while ago, giving you an aerial shot. Listen, Guyana is certainly on show. When you look at some of the things that we're seeing here, you really have to ask yourself, is this Guyana? Maybe 5-10 years ago, Guyana is, for me, I've always said that in the next 10 years, thereabout, we probably will not be able to recognize this country because of the amount of transformation that we're going
It's
through.
already
Yeah,
unrecognizable.
but it is certainly for those folks that are coming into the country. You meet people at the airport sometimes, and when they come into Guyana,
Take
they're
them up
amazed.
or bring them down that Heroes Highway, especially
Yeah.
those Guyanese who haven't been home for a while, and they're in awe.
Yeah.
They're looking all around, and of course we the locals are proud to show them.
Of course.
You-
Of course. So the aerial shots there giving you a sense of what's happening here at the Supply Exhibition Complex. It is fascinating to see the type of transformation, the level of transformation that Guyana herself is going through and has gone through over the last 4 to 5 years thereabout.
Yes.
And we're not even scratching the surface yet. We are going to see some significant work being done here in Guyana to ensure that every single region benefits. And that's what I like about the transformation. It's every single region you go through and you're amazed to see the type of works being done. Roads and bridges and streets, infrastructures being upgraded to a significant
I
level.
have been doing some traveling because of my substantive position, and I can tell you some areas I have been to recently, and I'm wow.
Amazed.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am amazed with the transformation that is taking place.
Yeah, certainly. Transformation, you're talking about transformation, go to the food section. If you're talking about transformation, go there and you see some of the amazing
Yes.
booths that are going to be located there because you do have those major companies that are going to be there, but those major companies are mixed in with those small businesses as well. So you're going to have a true reflection of what Guyana is when you
Yes.
visit that food section over there.
Yes, the Latin food, that's a big thing here
Yeah.
now. And so you have the Latin, you have the Chinese, you have the indigenous, you have the locals.
Everything in one place.
Oh, you have the Surinamis.
Yeah.
You have everything. You have everything across there, and then you have the beverages.
Beverages.
We can't forget
Of
the
course, we can't
beverages.
forget
We
the
have
beverages.
the major beverage manufacturers, distributors in the food court. You
Yeah.
have Ansa Macau, you have Banks DIH, Guyana Brewers, some of the smaller distributors of those hard and soft
Yeah.
beverages.
Yeah.
So
And-
that's an opportunity too.
Yeah, certainly. And you're talking on your screen there, we're seeing some of those food stalls, highlighting some of the things that they have. So you have everything. You got, when you're thinking about food as in rice or maybe pasta, or even you're talking about the pastries, like, we got some nice cheese roll in Guyana, some pie tart, all of those things are going to be on showcase. there, and
Everything.
the folks are queuing up already.
I'm seeing them there, the early bird.
Yeah, early bird catches the worm. You never
Catches
know
the
what-
food.
You never know what deals you can be able to definitely. But churches, I mentioned those major companies mixed
Yes,
in.
churches.
With,
Yes, they're
the smaller
there.
ones,
You have
churches.
Ridley's. You have New Drive-In. You have White Castle. And then that's a primary food court. Then you have the other food court where you
Yeah.
have some of the smaller, the hot dog folks, selling the things that the kids like
Yeah.
also. So you have the primary and the other food court.
Awesome stuff. Really amazing there. And the guys are queued up. New Thriving is represented. New Thriving is a major
Yes, and they have
company
been here for a while, and so they are well known.
Yeah.
So you see people are lining up already at the New Drive-In area.
Definitely. So again, if you're at home and you want something to do on this Thursday evening, you can come down to the Sapphire Exhibition Complex. It is the official opening of GuyExpo 2024, and we run from Thursday until Sunday, nightly, daily. You can come
Yes.
from 2 p.m.
PM.
But tomorrow they can come earlier because
12, the school children will be here
accommodated
from 12.
From 12.
You remember, it's just $500 for adults. Children under 10 are free.
Yeah.
It's a perfect opportunity.
Perfect opportunity indeed, and it is a family oriented type of event and atmosphere, but you do have the section where if you want your hardcore drinks, you can find that in,
You
in,
can,
in
yes,
another
and that's
location
separate,
as well,
and
separate
that's
from where the children
yes,
will be.
far away from where the children are.
Yeah.
It's two opposing areas, and so you have the entertainment there. You have the kids zone. You have the nightly entertainment. Then you have all the other things that you can see
Yeah, a little
and
while ago,
experience.
a
It's
little
not
while
just
ago,
seeing; it's experiencing.
It's
also.
experiencing it
Yes.
indeed. And we can only try to tell you what it feels like to be here, but you got to come down if you want to be able to experience it for yourself. Because we can only paint a picture so far.
We
I
can
tell
only
you,
do
as soon
that.
as you come to the gate, you're going to be amazed. If you don't want to take my word for it, come down to the Sapphire Exhibition Complex. You will be amazed as soon as you walk through the gate.
You see, we're seeing DDL. They're a major. I can't leave them out because they're a partner. They're a major partner
Yeah.
for this event. So you have DDL there. You see the El Dorado. So
And of course, El Dorado is our very own brand here in Guyana. It's
Yes.
one of those brands that's recognized around the world, and they are going to be here as well. And just in my peripheral view there, I can see the escort coming through, so it means that the president's arrival is just around the corner. And as soon as President Ali gets here, it will signal the official start and opening of GuyExpo 2024. We saw the arrival a little while ago of the Prime Minister of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, the retired Brigadier Mark Phillips. He made his entrance into the venue, but President Ali is about to pull up to the venue here. Certainly was a pleasure doing this with you.
Pleasure doing this
Thank
with
you
you,
for accommodating
Lyndon.
and for being here and giving us the valuable information that you did. But I just want to get your sense before we go quickly. How do you think the next 4 nights will pan out for GuyExpo 2024?
I think we'll go the 100 and over the 100,000.
100,000.
And
That's your
over.
prediction.
Yes.
Prediction there from
Yes.
Alison. Thanks, Alison.
Yes.
But we're about to witness the arrival of the
Yes.
President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Fanali.
His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Thank you. You may be seated. Your Excellency, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Honorable Brigadier Retired Mark Anthony Phillips, Prime Minister, Honorable Onej Walleran, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, and other members of Cabinet, members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, our Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Sharon Rupchan Edwards, and other senior officers in government, Chief Investment Officer of GoInvest, Dr. Peter Ramsarup, Chairman of the Private Sector Commission, Mr. Kamal Singh, and other members of the PSC and the heads and members of various chambers of commerce, exhibitors, tourism stakeholders, members of the discipline services, the media, students, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Cordell McClure, and I am your Master of Ceremony for this evening. And I want to welcome you to this opening ceremony for GuyExpo 2024 under the theme Guyana on Show, the fastest growing economy. We are almost at the halfway point of Tourism Awareness Month, and we are very pleased to present once again the longest sustained exhibition in the Caribbean. This year, we have in excess of 280 exhibitors from all around the world. I'll talk about those from Guyana in a moment. We have from the United States, Canada, China, Barbados, Suriname, Grenada, and of course, our very own producers of handicraft, furniture, garments, jewelry, horticulture, pharmaceuticals, tourism, information technology, and our culture. This is a showcase of our phenomenal economic growth and development as a country. And we will share more as the program continues. But first, I would like us to invite a young and talented Cortella Lewis from UG's Got Talent mega finalist to perform Walter Mack Lawrence and Valerie Rodway's national song, Oh Beautiful Guyana. Could you put your hands together and let's welcome Cortella Lewis.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, beautiful Guyana, oh, my lovely native land, more dear to me than all the world by sea-washed, sun-kissed strand, or down upon the borders, looking out upon the deep, the great Atlantic blowing through a fury, or asleep at morn, at noon, or better in the crimson sunset's glow. I love thee, oh, I love beautiful Guyana, oh, my lovely native land, more dear to me than all the world, thy sea-washed, sun-kissed strand, or down upon the borders, looking out upon the deep, the great Atlantic blowing through a fury, or asleep at morn, at noon, sunsets glow. I love thee. Oh, I love thee. Oh, I
That was awesome. I love thee. Oh, I love thee. And of course, we do love our beautiful Guyana. We love our country dearly. I want to invite you during this expo to experience our tourism village. It is right in front of the Guyana Tourism Authority's office. You'll be able to experience a taste of Guyana's culinary and cultural richness. Renowned local chefs, including Kester Robinson, Dustin Dalgetty, and the Singing Chef Adventures, will be serving up a culinary creativity. Andrew Campbell and Ibisawana Natural Foods will also provide samples of his signature local chocolates. Patrons can also enjoy traditional sweetmeats prepared by Desiree Balgobin, as well as mocktails and cocktails crafted by expert mixologists. And of course, there will be a virtual reality tour to experience all of that at the tourism village. And of course, there are lots of other attractions. There's an international pavilion, the service pavilion, the main auditorium, a designated children's zone, and we have 2 food courts, enough for you to experience. Lots for you to experience here at GuyExpo 2024. And I also want to thank our sponsors that will be doing this as we go along in the program. We've seen an increased number of sponsors for GuyExpo 2024, and we must express our appreciation to the members of the private sector, including KSM, Luminous, JS, Otto, Ansu McCall, GuyBisco, Nations Incorporated, NANPASOD, and I'll share some more as we go along. Now, ladies and gentlemen, over the years, GuyExpo has fostered innovation, economic growth, and international partnerships. Small businesses participated in GuyExpo to catapult them into the spotlight, creating opportunities that were previously unattainable. With remarks, we now invite Chairman of the Private Sector Commission, Mr. Kamal Singh. Could you put your hands together for Mr. Singh?
Good evening, everyone. I stand on all observed protocol. It's indeed a pleasure and a distinct honor for me to be given this opportunity here to speak at this momentous occasion, GuyExpo 2024, on behalf of the private sector. Tonight is yet another momentous occasion for our country, more so the private sector and small businesses. GuyExpo has always brought about enormous amount of economic opportunity for our people and the private sector. We must, without a shadow of a doubt, commend His Excellency and his cabinet for bringing back GuyExpo. GuyExpo creates an environment for businesses to showcase their goods and services. Most importantly, it allows businesses from across the region to participate. This platform of this nature allows businesses to create a new relationship, creates new market, and in many cases, new partnerships. The gas energy project is one of the most transformative projects in this country. When completed, that project will create an enormous amount of opportunity in the manufacturing sector, and it will ripple off into the many other sectors. And for that, GuyExpo and our private sector needs to be prepared in a year from now to start developing, growing their businesses, creating and finding the right partner to develop to meet the demand as it will grow in the next year from now. This expo also allows us to showcase our tourism products. This year, the number of arrivals passenger is projected to exceed 1 million through our airport. What will this brought about for us? We will soon see direct flights from Grenada, Colombia, the Netherlands. This will create a whole host more of opportunity for our businesses and our tourism product. And for that, we as a private sector will continue to grow to develop our businesses to meet those demands. So we need to start thinking outside the box and develop our tourism products to improve our manufacturing and packaging. I must confess, we are very impressed with what we have seen so far, with especially from the small businesses. When you look at some of the packaging that has been done, it's amazing, it meets international standard. And I want to commend the small businesses across the length and breadth of Guyana for the work that you have done, for the standard you have brought about in the packaging of your goods and services. The private sector will continue to work with government to develop this country so we can create a better environment for all Guyanese. The many initiatives and fiscal measures that government have implemented over the last 4 years assisted the private sector to grow significantly. Special thanks goes out to His Excellency and his cabinet for continuously looking at the private sector and looking at ways and means that they can encourage and create an environment where the private sector can continue to grow. Special thanks goes out to Minister Waldron and your team for taking the special effort to bring in GuyExpo 2024 to all of us here tonight so we can all once again meet here and congregate and allow our businesses to showcase their goods and services, not just to Guyana, but to the entire world. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kamal Singh, for those remarks. Also want to recognize some more of our sponsors. Want us to appreciate DDL, Guyana Breweries, Arctic Ocean High Technology, Global Technology, Massey Stores, Sunshine Snacks, and Fibertech Industrial Plastics. Also want us to recognize and appreciate all of the agencies, the arms of government, the investors, the exhibitors who all have displays here at GuyExpo. And as you make your way, after the opening ceremony, of course, as you make your way around this compound, I'm sure you'll be amazed by all that you will see. There are lots of displays representing almost every sector that you can think of, demonstrative of the type of growth that we have experienced as a nation. Now, GuyExpo will also feature musical performances, including a chutney night, which will happen tomorrow, a soca night on Saturday, and a pan extravaganza on Sunday night, or steel pan jamboree that will happen on Sunday night, which features various steel bands from across Guyana. But we now invite you to whet your appetite and to receive a sample of the type of entertainment you're likely to experience here at GuyExpo. And we will invite Gavin Mendonza and Chucky to folk it up with a folk song medley. Could you put your hands together for Gavin Mendonza and Chucky?
GuyExpo, what's going on? So, here's what's going on. We're jumping in a canoe, hold on real tight, because we're going on a journey through the rainforest. One morning the captain wakey wakey, boat on, wakey wakey, bowman wake with a paddle in the hand. All I want is a long and strong is too much for me, long and strong is it and me, don't know. And she said, Captain, Captain, put me ashore. I don't want to go anymore. Itana me gon' fight on me. Itana me gon' drown in me. Itana me gon' walk me belly. Itana me too much for me. Oh, Itana me, Itana me, oh, Itana me, Itana me, oh, Itana me, oh, Itana me, Itana me, Itana me. Now, GuyExpo remind me of me small days. Gavin and Chucky proud to announce that we've recorded an album live in the Iwakarama rainforest. Visit us over at GTA Tourism Authority to grab a copy. But let me go back to me small days. Small days is still on my mind. And you're gonna sing with me if you know it. Small days is a good time. Yeah, me but some little children. And when they singing and they dancing, I just really admire them. Now I need to hear GuyExpo. I say Rick, chick, chick, chick. My Bena Dam. My seafowl mama. And she 10 fat chicken. So me ask you for one. And she say me can't get them. Oh, you see that gal there? One named Dorothy. How she fat like a butter. And she muggle like a chow. A small days is still on me mind. Oh, these small days is a good time. Yeah, me neighbor, some little children. And when they singing and they dancing, I just really admire them. You know this one? I said, children, children, where have you been? What did she give you? And where is mine? So how me gonna get them? And if me fall, bad picnic. Wicked picnic! Hot small days is still on my mind. Oh, these small days is a good time. Yeah, me neighbor had some little children. And when they singing and they dancing, I just really realize how old we getting. Fork it up with Gavin and Chucky. Enjoy GuyExpo. Big up yourself.
Come on, you can put your hands together once again for Gavin Mendonza and Chucky. Small days are still on our mind. Those are the songs that we grew up with and brought back memories of our childhood days and expresses how rich we are, our culture, how rich our culture is as Guyanese. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker has responsibility for tourism, industry, and commerce, which also is tasked with the Small Business Bureau, the CCAC, the Guyana Tourism Authority, and the GNBS. And you know that the Small Business Bureau has responsibility for small business development as well. So I want to invite you to put your hands together for our Minister of Tourism, Industry, and Commerce, the Honorable Honest Walron, as she comes to bring remarks. Someone put your hands together for our minister. This is the Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, our minister, my minister, and you will give her a warm welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Cordell. Your Excellency, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Prime Minister, Brigadier Mark Phillips, retired, members, my cabinet colleagues, members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Mr. Kumal Singh, Chairman of the Private Sector Commission, representatives of the private sector, exhibitors, members of the discipline services, students, special invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a special good evening to you. It is an honor to address you at this launch of GuyExpo 2024, this year's edition of arguably the longest running trade show in the Caribbean. Yes, we can clap for that. GuyExpo 2024 marks the second consecutive year of the return of this event after a hiatus under the previous administration. Last year, the overwhelming support from our small business sector and the public reaffirmed the significance of this iconic event for a range of stakeholders in our economic landscape. GuyExpo is a premier platform for showcasing the innovation and quality of locally produced goods and services. It provides a dynamic stage for launching new products, exposing local businesses to new markets, and reinforcing the prominence of our established brands. This year's edition will host approximately 283 booths and is expected to draw over 100,000 visitors over its 4-day run here at the National Exhibition Center. The expo features a diverse array of attractions, including an international and service pavilion, a main auditorium, dedicated spaces for agro-processors, a tourism village, an international food court, a children's zone, and daily live entertainment. Our theme for this year, Guyana on Show, the fastest growing economy, is meant to showcase the remarkable economic progress we have made as a nation and to showcase the strong growth in our economy, especially in the critical non-oil sectors. Our aim is to put on display examples of a myriad of businesses that underlie the healthy double-digit growth rates in non-oil sectors that we've seen in the 4 years since taking office in August 2020. Our mid-year economic report for 2024 confirmed a stunning real GDP growth of 49.7% in the first half of the year. This growth included robust growth of 12.6% in the non-oil economy. The latter includes sectors such as agriculture, fishing, mining, and quarrying, excluding oil and gas and their supporting services, construction, and forestry. This progress is a testament to the strategic and comprehensive plans and programs implemented to stimulate private sector growth. As you explore the exhibition, you will experience firsthand the creativity and resilience of our people across these and other sectors. You will see products that have grown with us through generations, some of which have evolved into internationally known brands, as well as new trend-setting innovations paving the way for the future. And we are committed to supporting the small and medium enterprises of today, among which may be international brands of tomorrow. For instance, the successful launch of the business incubator centers in Lethem and Belvedere, Berbice, evidences our focus on nurturing local enterprises. In 2024 alone, the Berbice business incubator produced over 8,000 pounds of indigenous flowers and powders and nearly 70,000 sachets of tea bags. The Lethem Center contributed with thousands of sachets, dried peppers, and fruits. If we consider, for example, that the global market for cassava flour is currently about $47 billion and is expected to grow to just about $80 billion in 6 years, the potential of such initiatives for sustainable development is self-evident. In the field of industrial development, our efforts include the creation of approximately 90 plots on the Niming Industrial Estate, 75% of which are designated for value-added businesses. In Lethem, 43 plots have been allocated for similar activities. The business incubator centers provide subsidized rent for the offices and storefront pods for agro-processors on a short-term basis. Another facet of our supporting infrastructure for business is a quality infrastructure and program on standards. Our commitment to the high standards that are essential for international trade is evidenced by our investment in the state-of-the-art facility for Guyana National Bureau of Standards. Over the years, the demand for testing, calibration, and verification services across the various sectors have surpassed the capacity of our existing laboratories due to constraints in space, equipment, and accreditation capacity. This new state-of-the-art facility is designed to address these challenges, offering a comprehensive range of services to meet the needs of our key industries. The facility is equipped with over 20 specialized laboratories soon to be commissioned. Each laboratory will function autonomously, enhancing operational efficiency and allowing for the expansion of our workforce to support a broader range of verification services to businesses. In the same vein, the Guyana National Bureau of Standards has certified 24 new companies in 2024. Thus far, of that amount, there are 17 businesses given permits to use the GNBS Made in Guyana certification mark. Ladies and gentlemen, equipping the world's fastest growing economy requires investing in human capital, especially our young people who are here today, who will be born into and who will grow in it. In this regard, you would be aware that our government continues to invest heavily in our educational sector by providing learning resources and improved facilities that foster their academic advancement and entrepreneurial development. Closely related to this thrust is the Agriculture Innovation Entrepreneurship Program, designed to build agribusinesses, including amongst young people. This program is undertaking the construction of hundreds of shade houses to enhance high-value crop production, as well as poultry farming, aquaculture, and the construction of farmsteads. It is therefore heartening to see, for example, the students of the Bishop's High School participating in GuyExpo 2024, showcasing their line of cosmetic products, pepper flakes, chips, and more. Their participation is testament to the promising future of Guyana's agro-processing industry. Our president has often reinforced the point that our success as a country cannot be achieved with a policy of isolation. Rather, we will work with our global partners towards mutual development and support. As such, Guyana has established strong bilateral relations with countries across the world, some of whom are represented at this year's GuyExpo. You may recall just 2 years ago, the St. Barnabas Accord was signed by His Excellency President Ali and the Honorable Prime Minister Motley. This accord seeks to deepen the bilateral connections between our countries. Since then, there has been collaboration in a number of areas pertaining to trade. Over 50 Guyanese agro-processors, jewelers, and small businesses participated in the AgroFest hosted in Barbados. Many of those businesses have established long-term partnerships from participating in that expo. For GuyExpo 2024, Export Barbados is also fielding a trade mission comprising 8 companies. They will be utilizing 4 booths and will be engaging with local distributors and producers with the goal of increasing inter-country trade between our 2 countries. In a significant step towards enhancing regional cooperation, we recently hosted a trade mission from Grenada and committed to collaborating across multiple sectors. One of the outcomes of this partnership is the upcoming launch of a non-stop flight between Guyana and Grenada, set to begin in December 1st. This new route promises to create substantial opportunities for trade, tourism, and services industries. We are delighted that Grenada will be participating in this year's expo, showcasing the spirit of our deepening ties. And I'm also happy to highlight the participation of our neighbor, Suriname, and partners from Canada. In addition, several prominent Chinese companies will be featured. The International Pavilion will showcase businesses from around the globe, including from the US and South Korea, enriching the expo with a diverse range of exhibitors and expanding our global reach. These partnerships demonstrate that Guyana is truly open for business and will continue to provide the enabling environment and facilities to open our economy to trade and deepen our relations with global partners. In closing, I wish to acknowledge the vital role of the private sector, which has shown increased support as sponsors and exhibitors. This demonstrates confidence in the direction we are heading. I extend my sincere gratitude to the Planning Committee and the countless volunteers for making this event possible. My sincerest thanks also to Ms. Sharon Rubchan Edwards, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, and the staff of the ministry and its agencies, the heads of the agencies, who have worked above and beyond the call of duty to ensure the success of this important event on the ministry's calendar. I thank you. To you, visitors, patrons, and guests, this event would be nothing without your support. And I invite everyone to explore, learn, and celebrate the remarkable journey of our nation at GuyExpo 2024, Guyana on Show, the fastest growing economy. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Minister Walleran, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce. Guyana on show, the fastest growing economy. And Minister Walleran just mentioned some unique products that you can get at the Guyana Office of Investment booth at GuyExpo, and that is located in the roundabout to the front of the compound. And in that booth, you'll be able to discover some of those unique products, such as sorrel jam, pumpkin pepper, awara sauce, and furniture made from hoofa and nibi vine, and much, much more. And of course, mention was made, and I would like you to put your hands together once again for the students of Bishop's High School that is mounting their own exhibit here at GuyExpo 2024. Now we go back to some entertainment, because entertainment is also part of what we do at GuyExpo, and we now will have a cultural presentation, first of all led by the 592 Drum for Life and the Rising Star Tassel Group, but it will also feature the Riverside Angels Indigenous Dance Group. Put your hands together for them. The Burbies Delights Dance Troupe, the Chinese Association Dance Troupe, and the National Dance Troupe, and of course, the Drum and Fusion. This reflects our diverse culture that we have here in Guyana. So put your hands together for all the members who will be a part of this cultural presentation as they come to entertain you as part of GuyExpo 2024.
看转壁画入梦来，情唯独四海，至诚是300，提笔描摹出这些风起了文来。一贯不改，沉淀实力无千载，流逝今日明月前，神力风霜，沉默换彩，不去招来，风流送你是姿态，多想当个女子同好好当人间来入怀。
渡四海，至诚是300，提笔描摹出这些风起了文脉。一贯不改，沉淀实力无千载，流逝今日明月前，神力风霜，沉默换彩，无去招来，双雪照我一爱爱，心儿
心思念独裁制这归时可待。
This is our home. Oh, Guyana. This is our home. This is our home. Oh, Guyana. This is our home.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together once again for our cultural performers. This was a melting pot. Guyana is a melting pot of cultures. Come on, you can do better than that. You're talking about a dance production comprising all the elements of our culture, or major elements of our culture. You know, when people ask me what I love about Guyana, I always tell them we are a country, a beautiful country of beautiful people, a diverse nation, and we love each other. Put your hands together for them once again. Now, ladies and gentlemen, GuyExpo is also designed to promote growth and development of small businesses, and also to promote Guyana as an attractive investment destination. With every country he visits and every person or organization he hosts, and any opportunity he gets, he emphasizes his love and commitment to strengthening ties and expanding Guyana's profile on the international global stage. He is someone extremely passionate about our country's progress and creating a better existence for all Guyana. And the person who is leading this nation through this phenomenal economic growth as the fastest growing economy in the world is none other than His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, who we now invite to bring feature remarks.
Thank you very much. Please have your seats. I know it's very difficult to follow a splendid display of our culture. What an amazing melting pot we are. Let us put our hands together once more for all the performers. I'm especially very pleased to see the school children here tonight. And I want to compliment them for not only participating in what would be a very profitable sector in the future, that is agriculture, but I want to congratulate the teachers of Bishop High School who are doing a phenomenal job in ensuring that our children are connected to the economy of our country. And I admire the work that you're doing. Let me say and borrow from the Minister of Finance when he described Guyana as running a marathon at sprint speed, because that is what is taking place in our country today. We are running a marathon at sprint speed. And a marathon is about endurance. It's about resilience. It's about sustainability. It is about energy, long and sustained energy. It is not about outpacing yourself, but ensuring that in completing the marathon, the energy is consistent and the energy is steady. And that is what we are about, providing consistent, steady energy in driving this economy as fast as possible and building out the story of prosperity as quickly as possible. Make no mistake, the trajectory of our country and the future that is before us is one that will be not only exciting, but more importantly, it is one that will be fulfilling. The economic path that we have chosen is to build industries and create opportunities out of our productivity and enhance competitiveness. Before I explore some thoughts on where we are heading, it is important for me to congratulate the minister and the staff of this ministry for putting together yet again another exceptional display of the talent, creativity, product, and services of Guyana. But more importantly, I want to congratulate them on ensuring that our regional partners were a part of this, that our regional partners are integrated into our growth and development. Because I've said it before, the prosperity of Guyana will be incomplete if it does not contribute to the prosperity of our region. Then is when we will have complete prosperity. The path that we have chosen is a path of collective responsibility, collective ownership, and joint and shared prosperity within our region. It is an absolute pleasure, therefore, to be here with you this evening as we launch GuyExpo 2024. Indeed, it is the longest standing exposition of its kind in the Caribbean. This event is a vibrant showcase of Guyana's spirit of enterprise, a snapshot of our potential, and more importantly, our purpose. There is, and there has been a lot said and a lot of talk about the composition of Guyana's gross domestic product. Economists, analysts, and every kind of pundit you can imagine have been dissecting the growth, running the numbers, speculating on what it all means. Many of these analyses, as we call them, points to a much bigger picture, points to the challenges and dangers that we must overcome. Some of them are skeptical, based on other journeys by other countries. But we are confident that the path we are defining for our country will lead to a prosperous, sustainable, and resilient future. And I say this because when your country and economy is in the global spotlight, there will be many forms of analysis, all with its own objective, and all designed to communicate a particular narrative. But Guyana's narrative must be designed by us, Guyanese. Our narrative and our development must first and foremost be pursued by us, Guyanese. And for that narrative to be pursued, it must have collective ownership. The ownership of our narrative and our country must be a responsibility of each and every one of us. Therefore, our approach in Guyana isn't just about creating wealth through the extraction of resources. We are not content to simply take from the earth and tally up the gains. Our vision is about creating wealth in a way that multiplies opportunities, transforms industries, and improves the lives of our citizens. At the heart of our economic model is not simply production, it is about transformation. It is about adding value to what we produce, elevating every productive activity, and building a future where our resources work for us, for our people, for our communities, in ways that go beyond what is extracted or what is counted up in the GDP. Take, for example, the diversification of the agriculture sector and the ways in which we are ramping up production so that we can move into value added. In just the last 2 years, our rice production last year was about 653,000 tons. We expect to close this year at 720,000 tons. Our cassava production, and the minister outlined our clear strategy based on international markets. Our cassava production last year was 20 million tons. We will close this year producing more than 50 million tons of cassava, from 20 million tons to 50 million tons. Our corn and soybean production will move from 9,000 tons to close to 20,000 tons. Our vegetable production will move from 340,000 tons last year to 380,000 tons at the end of this year, even after the prolonged drought and dry season. Brackish water shrimp production will move from 6,000 kg to 98,000 kg per month. And our honey production will move from 3,000 gallons to 18,000 gallons. Those are the numbers that will help us to build the value-added industry that will support the expansion of primary products. Now let me say this, and I want you to hear it clearly. Wealth creation is not achieved by distributing wealth. We cannot grow an economy by dividing up what we already have. True wealth creation happens when we are building, producing, creating something that was not there before. Creating something that was not there before. It is about a nation coming together to make things, to produce goods, to refine services, and to elevate our industries. And that is what our commitment is firmly rooted in. Building a diversified economy that stands strong across every sector, not just in oil, but in agriculture, in tourism, in technology, in every corner of productivity. Now, the question is, how do we do this? First, we have a duty to the people of this nation. We believe fundamentally that the revenues we earn from our natural resources must benefit the people. That is why we have special schemes designed for vulnerable sections of the population. That is why we have policies that put money back directly into the hands of families, of young people, of the elderly, of the vulnerable. That is an obligation that we take seriously. The Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce outlined a very clear strategy through which we will build innovation in entrepreneurship, through which we will build innovation in the development of new businesses. We want our SMEs to be part of that innovation process that will make them more profitable. We are going to design innovative estates where the state will invest in infrastructure and create the opportunity through which you can add value and produce in a dignified environment. An innovative industrial hub is part of what the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce will do. But let me also say this: distributing resources is not the same as creating wealth. Cash grant can help our people now, yes, but we are not stopping there. If we are to build lasting wealth, we have to move beyond this. We have to invest in financial literacy. We have to teach communities and families how to combine their individual capital and use that individual capital as collective wealth to create and generate new income. Therefore, financial literacy is an important pillar through which economic diversification and innovation must take place. So in the new year, the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce will focus heavily on financial literacy, how we deploy individual wealth in a collective way to create long-term sustainable revenue streams. This is an important part of what we want to do. For individuals, this means deciding whether to prioritize spending on transient goods or to allocate funds towards investment that yield returns, like education, property, or business ventures that compound value over time. For governments, the choice is equally crucial. Spending on short-term fixes or consumption-based programs might provide immediate relief, but lacks the multiplying power that investments in infrastructure, education, or health create. To sustain wealth generation, governments must therefore prioritize investments that build future streams of revenue, ensuring that each dollar today sees opportunity for growth tomorrow. That is why the investment in infrastructure, education, health, social services is so crucial to the economic transformation of our society. Wealth creation is about investing in people, equipping them with the knowledge, skills, and opportunities to thrive in a growing modern economy. By focusing on human resource development, we enable individuals to achieve and contribute to the economy, but also investing in the foundational pillars of personal well-being, affordable housing, accessible health care, and quality education. These investments transform individuals into empowered citizens who can seize new opportunities and drive the spirit of enterprise. Wealth creation It's about fostering a spirit of enterprise, a drive to build, to innovate, to take risks, and to see opportunities where others might not. It is not just about having the resources. It is about having the mindset to use those resources creatively and productively. A true spirit of enterprise thrives on doing more, on the willingness to try something new, and on the resilience to keep going even when the path gets tough. Wealth creation requires a forward-looking perspective, one that values and welcomes both local and foreign investment as a catalyst to economic transformation. It is not about being myopic or fearful of outside influence. Rather, it is about understanding that investors take on significant risks to help build our industries, infrastructure, and workforce. These investments lay the groundwork for a more dynamic economy, one that creates jobs, enhances our skills base, and modernizes key sectors. When we appreciate the role of investors, we recognize that they are bringing capital, expertise, and opportunities that often wouldn't be possible otherwise. Discouraging investment through misinformation or malicious criticism only sets us back. Facilitating wealth creation requires robust investment in infrastructure, roads, schools, ports, bridges, drainage and irrigation system, healthcare facilities, and security. These are the pillars of an environment that enables enterprise to thrive, connecting people to markets, knowledge, and opportunities. Without reliable infrastructure, entrepreneurs and investment face unnecessary barriers, costs rise, and productivity suffers. That is why I make no apologies for ensuring that our public infrastructure project is accelerated, that our public infrastructure project is embraced, and that our public infrastructure project is delivered on time every single day. This requires consistent effort. It requires strong, bold leadership, and that is the leadership that the People's Progressive Party Civic is ready and willing to provide every single day. My friends, many of you are new to Guyana, and it's very important for me to take you tonight through a very important journey of this country. And I'm going to do this in the shortest possible version, because we must understand how the private sector would have developed in this country. Today, many people speak about private sector development, but they have no clue as to what the private sector endured and went through during the history of this country from independence to now. They have no clue of what the private sector had to overcome. And that is why I have tremendous respect and regards for the private sector of this country, especially those who stood through those difficult and dark days and are today still standing tall in the fastest growing economy in the world. Especially to our children, who will be our future economists, agricultural investors, business people, doctors and lawyers. You must have an understanding and appreciation for the country that we live in today. In examining Guyana's journey from independence to recent years, the record is undeniable that the private sector was stymied by policies that prioritize public sector expansion over sustainable organic economic growth. From the early years, under the People's National Congress, through the APNU-AFC Alliance for Change coalition government, attempts to develop private industry face overwhelming odds. And these overwhelming odds are based on a philosophical underpinning. They're based on a policy-making matrix that has consistently missed the mark for the development of Guyana. Let us break down why private businesses in Guyana have had such a challenging path, and why it is imperative that we reshape our policies for a more balanced and dynamic economy. When Guyana gained independence in 1966, the then government, the PNC government, swiftly introduced cooperative socialism. This experiment devastated the economy and miniaturized the local private sector while limiting foreign direct investment. By the 1970s, over 85% of Guyana's economy had come under state control. By the 1970s, 85% of our economy came under state control. Public investment as a share of total expenditure skyrocketed, climbing from 4.4% in 1965 to 19% in 1990. This meant that the state, not private businesses, was making most of the economic decisions, determining which sectors would grow, which investment would be prioritized, and ultimately how wealth would be distributed. Unfortunately, it also meant that private businesses had little room to flourish. The consequences were severe. Economic growth languished through the 1970s and 1980s, weighed down by low productivity and sluggish return on government investments. Indeed, economic growth was low and negative and described by many academics as a lost decade. Credit to the public sector shot up dramatically, while private sector credit actually declined rapidly. By the end of 1989, nearly 80% of all domestic credit was directed to the government, starving private enterprises of the cash they needed to grow and thrive. Even more problematic was the government's reliance on printing money. And people don't remember this. This is an important part of our past. Even more problematic was the government reliance on printing money to financing the expanded deficit, a move that expanded the money stock from 165 million in 1970 to a staggering 2.2 billion in 1986. The inflationary pressures from the approach only made matters worse, creating an economic climate inhospitable to sustainable growth. Fast forward to 2015, and despite hopes for change, history repeated itself under the APNUASC coalition. Over 200 new taxes were introduced, raising the effective tax rate from 15% to 22%. Private businesses in every sector suffered under these measures, which had the effect of draining liquidity from a sector already struggling to grow. Private consumption fell by over 77 billion between 2014 and 2019. Private consumption fell by 77 billion between 2014 and 2019. A decline that translated directly into reduced demand for goods and services. Domestic credit to the government grew by 28 billion in 2014, an exact replica of the economic model in the last decade and economic degradation that took place from independence to 1992. By shifting the focus, domestic credit, as I said, to the government grew by 28 billion in 2014 to 128 billion by 2019. Whilst at the same time, private sector credit grew marginally. Very little growth, the crowding out of money that should have been made available to the private sector. By shifting focus towards non-productive spending, rather than investment in social and economic infrastructure, The APNUSC starved every single sector of this country, and the private sector faced the brunt of the failed policy matrix of the government between 2015 and 2020. The agricultural sector was pulverized by an astronomical increase in land rents and the neglect of critical drainage and irrigation infrastructure. The sugar industry was downsized, not only resulting in workers being placed on the breadline, but also adversely affecting the rural economy. These policies had terrible consequences across the economy. Production in key sectors dropped significantly. Forestry output, and this is only a few years ago, between 2015 and 2020, people forget this. Forestry output fell by 36%. Bauxite production plummeted by 61%. The government then, APNUSC, must be held accountable for their stewardship. They must not run away from this record. This is their record. The wholesale, retail, transport, and storage sector contracted by 25.7%, 17.6% between 2014 and 2020, demonstrating how policies that affect the private sector can halt growth across the board. The banking sector struggles were starkly illustrated by the alarming decline in the return on equity for the 6 major commercial banks, which plummeted from 22.3% in 2014 to 2.5% by March 2020. 22.3% to 2.5% by March 2020. The downturn serves as a clear indicator of the significant challenges faced by the local private sector. The rapid increase in non-performing loan reported by licensed depository financial institutions also confirmed the hardship between 2015 and 2020. Those figures and the hardship endured by the private sector, based on the Bank of Guyana report, as of December 2019, the total non-performing loan of LDFIs increased 3.5 times. Non-performing loans increased 3.5 times the level as of December 2008 when we had the financial crisis. Between 2014 and 2019, non-performing loans for business enterprises, that is these same businesses you're seeing here, between 2015 and 2019, non-performing loans for business enterprises increased by 52.9%, while the mining and quarrying, manufacturing and services sector registered increases in non-performing loans by 166%, 18.9%, and 91.9% respectively. This is their record that they're hiding from. This is their stewardship. This is what their economic czars produce for them. So all this dancing around in the public space, we must hold them accountable for the destruction that they cause. Let me move on to 2020 and beyond, when we as a government decided that we must support private sector development and we must correct the policy matrix to enable the private sector to once again grow and grow in a rapid way. When my government assumed office in 2020, we set out immediately on reversing the stagnation of the private enterprise. We pursued and are pursuing a deliberate policy of boosting private sector development as a vehicle of wealth creation. Since 2020, the government has implemented a comprehensive set of measures to support private sector growth, ease the tax burden on citizens and businesses, enhance consumer spending power, expand private sector credit, and revitalize key economic sectors. These initiatives have aimed at creating a favorable climate for attracting and promoting investments, reducing economic barriers, and ensuring sustained growth across multiple industries. I just wish to highlight some policies that we have pursued to enable private sector wealth creation. One, reduction of punitive taxes. Upon taking office in 2020, the government acted swiftly to reverse the punitive tax previously imposed, providing relief to local businesses and citizens by saving over $110 billion in taxes annually. $110 billion in tax savings annually that is passed on to the citizens of our country. This policy change aimed to boost disposable income for consumers and free up resources for businesses to reinvest, thus creating a more favorable environment for economic activity. Secondly, the fuel excise tax adjustment to mitigate the impact of fluctuating fuel prices. The government adjusted excise tax on fuel, resulting in an annual saving of more than $70 billion for citizens and businesses. This measure has helped stabilize operational costs across various sectors, particularly in transportation and manufacturing, and has helped to reduce inflationary pressure. Third, the freight charge rollback. The government reverted freight charges to pre-pandemic rates to alleviate the cost burden on businesses and consumers. This initiative costs more than $6 billion annually, has been crucial in stabilizing product prices and making goods more affordable. Fourthly, expansion of public sector investment program. By expanding the PSIP, the government has created billions of dollars in business opportunities for the private sector. This program includes infrastructure development, providing local contractors and suppliers with steady demand, which has a multiplier effect on job creation and sectorial growth. This multiplier effect is estimated by the World Bank as at 1.5 times what the investment is. Fifthly, private sector credit expansion. With supportive monetary policies, the government has encouraged a rapid expansion of credit to the private sector, contributing to a 62% increase in private sector lending between 2019 and 2024. And I believe we should give the banking sector a resounding round of applause. From increased non-performing loan to increase of 62% in lending to the private sector. This access to credit has been instrumental in business growth across major economic sectors, with notable credit increases in mining, 25.8%, agriculture, 95.6% increase, manufacturing, 57.9% increase, and services, 60.9% increase. This diversified increase in portfolio tells you that our policy making matrix of diversification is working and yielding the results that we want it to yield. 6, reduction of non-performing loans. The government economic stabilization efforts and the strengthening of private sector capacity have significantly lowered non-performing loans. The non-performing loans ratio, which was 11.1% in 2019, 11.1% in 2019, has dropped today to 2.7%, from 11.1% to 2.7%. That tells you about the health of our economy, the health of businesses, and the health of the private sector in this country. Name one jurisdiction that can speak about these successes after overcoming 2 years of COVID, 2 droughts, 2 floods, and all the other pressures, external and internal, that we had to overcome. The 7th indicator I wish to look at is foreign direct investment. From 2020 to 2023, FDI surged to US $18.1 billion, 4 times the FDI between the entire period of the APNU AFC government. With COVID, up to the end of 2023, FDI is 4 times the entire period of the APNU AFC government. The energy sector, every single sector, has seen remarkable expansion of FDI. In the ICT sector, when we speak about digitization and the digitization of the economy, we are seeing already that the world is embracing this. In the ICT sector, FDI grew 8-fold compared to 2020, the pre-2020 period. Mining and quarrying attracted $7.1 billion, a 40-fold increase in investment. Manufacturing and distribution attracted investment of $123 million US, tripling past investment levels. This increase in FDI reflects the confidence international investors have in the country's stable and promising economic environment. Notwithstanding the naysayers, notwithstanding the pocket rockets, and I will define the pocket rockets in my next elaboration of this speech. The international community, the sophisticated and tested investors, are telling the stories themselves about the stability and growth of this economy by investing in the economy. The 8th area I want to highlight is the sector improvement. Look at our local private sector and what they're doing. In agriculture, Pretty Paul Singh investment in a new seafood processing plant, more than $75 million US. The Hubu aquaculture, the Grandi seafood, in mining, in agriculture, the new dairy farm from DDL. Our local private sector is answering the call of economic diversification and transformation. And they're answering the call because they understand the policies, they understand the impact of the policy, and they're embracing the strength of the collective future all of us have. In mining, Bosai Mineral Group, $150 million US of investment. Guyana Manganese Inc., $75 million US of investment. And the story goes on. The more than 14 new hotels, some completed and some under construction. But not only the big businesses. If you look at SMEs, you will see that the government has designed a targeted approach to grow SMEs also. And the minister did an excellent job in outlining the strategies and the results of those strategies. But I want to highlight a few more points. The government has directly supported SMEs by distributing over $1 billion to 4,000 SMEs, providing training to over 10,000 businesses across our country. These are real results. This is real work, not a fragment of the imagination of those who are tested and fail. This is the result of hard work, continuous work, going at the grind every day and getting it done. Not sleeping at the wheels of development. My friends, let me continue on SMEs. Our partnership with financial institutions facilitated hundreds of new loans totaling billions of dollars to SMEs. We unlocked the possibility of SMEs getting capital with targeted policies that supported the financial institutions and reducing the risk in lending to SMEs. The Women of Work program, the People of Work Entrepreneurship Resources Loans program for single parents, single mothers, single families. The Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce partnering with the Ministry of Human Resources would have trained thousands of women, single women-led households all across the country, empowering them to own their own businesses today and make their own decisions to lead prosperous and fulfilling lives. Hundreds of loans ranging from 150,000 to 500,000 has already been allocated. 20% of all our procurement. And look at the size of the procurement budget. And 20% of all our procurement goes to SMEs. This is the reality. These are the facts. This is what defines our economy today. My friends, I can go on to speak to you about entrepreneurial support to sustainable community development, which saw the distribution of more than 23 startup grants, the special 23,000 startup grants, the special revolving fund for persons with disability, the Green Technology Fund, the SLED program, the Forestry and Poultry Support Fund. All of these are aimed and targeted at creating wealth and building the prosperity of SMEs. Within the forestry sector, 6 large concessions were issued between 2021 and 2024 for a total size of approximately 2.9 million acres. Whilst we've issued this, there were also 162 small concessions issued during the same period, totaling 1.6 million acres. 1.6 million acres, small concessions. Over the past 4 years, several companies have invested in the forestry sector. And today, we are seeing the value addition that is coming to this sector. But this has not happened by accident. Between 2015 and 2020, investment in hinterland infrastructure to support mining, forestry, and quarrying went to zero. We had to reinvest in infrastructure to propel the growth and development. None of these small concessions can survive without the government putting the infrastructure in to help them to get to the concession. And those are the investments we have made, building hundreds of kilometers of roads, building walls, creating opportunity for businesses to succeed. Through this, we have seen our local private sector, and I have a long list of the local private sector, individuals and companies who are investing every single day. New investment in this sector exceeds more than 20 billion Guyana dollars over the last 3 years. A sector that went dead, that could not even pay their employees, that went into bankruptcy, not only regained strength and viability, but regained the confidence of the local private sector, seeing more than $20 billion now invested back in this sector. These investments were matched with the right environment, the right fiscal environment, and the right policy-making environment to support the confidence in investing in these sectors. My friends, I can go on and on. The 13-point engagement with International Lending Agency. Our International Lending Agency portfolio has also diversified rapidly. Today we have the IDB Invest, now processing for the first time 14 transactions for the local private sector, totaling more than 173 million US dollars. That did not come by accident. That came by hard work of the Ministry of Finance, of this government, to open up the vehicle through which the private sector can benefit from these institutions. Today, we are not going to these institutions to borrow for government. We are going to these institutions to lay the foundation and make the case that they must invest in the local private sector in Guyana as the future form of investment. And we are seeing the results all across our country. It is not accidental. It is not by chance. Make no mistake, these results are not accidental and by chance. They are by a carefully articulated vision, backed by hard work and commitment, some policy-making matrix, and financial prudence. That is what gives us these results. And those were the values that continue to be missing in an intellectually bankrupt APNU-AFC opposition. My friends, let me come back to GuyExpo once more. These are important stories. This is an important aspect through which we must celebrate this GuyExpo. Because this GuyExpo is a celebration of entrepreneurship, is a celebration of productivity, is a celebration of creativity, it's a celebration of the gains of policy making and the policy making matrix. This GuyExpo is a celebration of the collective will of the private sector, focusing heavily on SMEs. Therefore, I conclude by congratulating all the exhibitors, congratulating the private sector of this country, the manufacturing sector, the services sector, but more importantly, congratulating the cabinet and the government for doing what it takes to win, for doing what it takes for success, for doing what it takes to create an avenue through which Guyana's prosperity will not only be realized, but will be sustained and guaranteed. I thank you. Children, you have a bright future, and we will ensure we do everything so that your future will be manifold brighter than our future today. I thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Expo 2024. I want to thank you all. You've been a wonderful audience. Could you give yourselves a round?
the team makes their way to the area where the ribbon cutting is. The ribbon cutting will be done, which will officially signal the opening of GuyExpo 2024. I've got Alison Parker still with me. Alison, what is it that stood out for you as part of the opening ceremony this evening?
The remarks by both the Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce and the remarks by His Excellency when he highlighted and outlined all the initiatives that create the opportunities for these businesses. Especially he focused at the end of his presentation a lot on the SMEs. And what you gathered, the picture he gave, is that this is not by accident, but it's by the strategies that the government has put in place to enable these businesses to grow. He congratulated the banking sector for all the work that they are doing to enable the same groups of people and the diversification in the various industries. Minister Waldron highlighted we're talking about the non-oil sector. This is a focus, right now every time we talk about the oil sector, but this is the growth in the non-oil sector that we cannot ignore. The diversification and the not by accident, but by careful and prudent planning.
I want to narrow it or zero in particularly to the Small Business Bureau and the role that the Bureau has played, particularly as it relates to the growth and development of the small businesses here in Guyana and their contributions that they make, particularly as it relates to the economy. Because you were telling me there are a number of initiatives that are available through the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, through the Small Business Bureau, that really aids small businesses in giving them that opportunity to contribute to the development of the economy and to their growth as well.
Yes, of course. As the President highlighted, it's not just giving the loans and the grants, but this is training, this is exposure, this is allowing them. There was this procurement initiative done by the Small Business Bureau where businesses are encouraged to go on this portal, try to source from the small businesses. Let that be your first go-to to ensure they're involved in the whole growth of the economy. Their businesses can grow, right? So it's the enabling support. It is not by accident.
And this enabling environment is what we are sort of witnessing this evening, because the mere fact that we're talking about almost 300 companies represented here in Guyana. The majority of those companies are Guyanese companies that are featured here at GuyExpo 2024. Yes, we do have some presence from internationally as well and regionally. We do have those companies from the US, from Canada, from China, from South Korea, from Grenada,
from
Barbados, St. Lucia as well represented. But the vast amount of companies here are Guyanese companies. You're talking about those small businesses, whether you're talking about agro-processors or people involved in arts and craft or whatever it is, but you do have those companies like the banking sector that you were talking to, and that's the enabling environment that you're talking about, that you do have so many companies from different sectors represented here.
Yes, they are represented here, and again, not by accident. The President highlighted the tax reliefs that formed a part of that whole strategic effort to have businesses grow and grow the economy.
And you alluded to the taxes. He's focused specifically on the private sector and the important role that the private sector plays, particularly as it relates to the growth of the economy, but also the support that you're talking about in terms of relief from taxes, also talking about other investments in the private sector, because obviously the private sector is the driving force in the engine for every economy. So the engine room obviously needs support from government. But one of the things I like is that he alluded to the fact that the extractive sector is one of those sectors, obviously, which is very important to us here in Guyana. But the funds from the extractive sector will be used, one, to invest in people, in the people of Guyana. It will be used in investing in the manufacturing sector, because obviously one of the things which he highlighted and alluded to is the fact that if you're looking to grow wealth, that you really need to create things that weren't there before. So you're talking about new and emerging sectors, sectors that weren't there. So that in itself is pretty important as we're about to look at the ribbon cutting.
Yes, we're about to
that is
witness
about to happen to officially
yes,
signal
the ribbon cutting.
the,
While we await the ribbon cutting, I want to highlight his praise for the private sector for staying the course even when the waters were rough.
Yeah.
And you know, that's important. It's important that he recognizes that, you know, they stayed the course.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so on your screens there, we're about to witness the official ribbon cutting. That's ribbon cutting. So the ribbons are cut.
Yes,
and it means that
GuyExpo is officially declared open.
yeah, GuyExpo opened officially 2024. GuyExpo here at the Sophia Exhibition Complex. This is pretty significant again because the mere father you're seeing so much interest in this year's GuyExpo. Started off in 1995. From 2004 to 2016, it was held annually, and then we had that period with a little hiatus for a number of years.
We
back
came
last year.
Last year, and we're stronger. We're just like the economy. GuyExpo is strong this year.
Yeah,
we're growing.
Growing
we're
indeed.
Getting stronger.
Because you're seeing the representation of that growth
Right
here at the Sophia Exhibition Complex. Now, President Ali and his team obviously will get a chance to walk through.
Yeah, we remind our listeners, viewers, that last year we had just about 200 exhibitors. And we had targeted for 220 this year. We exceeded our expectations, and so we have about 300 exhibitors here.
Yeah.
We have something for everyone, and the focus, while we have the larger industries, as I said, this GuyExpo is an equal opportunity platform.
Yeah.
So you have the SMEs, you have the larger sectors, you have the micro, macro, and it's just awesome. It's just awesome. It's a place where everybody can come and showcase what they have.
Yeah, and you're talking about everybody can come here. It's really a family-oriented event as well, because you do have so many families out here bringing their children out because of all the activities that you have mentioned for children that are here as well. President Ali, as you see on screen, they're getting a chance to interact with some of the families that are out here.
Yes, it's the first night, and we have a steady flow of patrons. They're taking the opportunity to take photograph with His Excellency as he does the walkabout. He's going to go visit the various exhibitors, the various booths, and get a sense and a feel of what we have on show here.
Yep.
Remember, the theme for this year is Guyana on show. The fastest growing economy.
Yes.
And who can doubt that?
Definitely. And I had a chance a little while ago to visit some of the booths that are here, and I can tell you I was really impressed with what I saw, particularly in the food court area. On that side, there's so many options over there as it relates to food. I had a chance to see some of the booths as well, just around by the roundabout area.
Yes.
There, and there was a throng of people there who were flocked to those booths over there as well because of those giveaways and those the services being offered.
I was just looking at the video there, and just a short while ago you saw, I think it looked like a car. Somebody has a car on offer.
Yeah.
Was it GBTI? There's a car I noticed on offer. There's so much to see and do and experience here.
Yeah, definitely.
And don't forget, we did a talk earlier tonight. This is Tourism Month, and you should visit the tourism village. We have the local chefs. You can get your sushi, you can get your mocktails, your cocktails, a taste of our ethnic foods. You can visit Kaichor Falls virtually. And you have all the other booths that you can go and sample their fares. You can engage in every aspect. Don't forget, walk with flat footwear.
Yeah, because you definitely will be doing a lot of walking.
Yes.
Because of the amount of exhibitors that are here, and it's such a large area to cover. You're talking about like 300 exhibitors thereabout, but the area is such a vast area. You do have that particular area at the back where you have the auditorium where all those exhibitors are going to be there as well.
Yes.
Arts and craft and all of that
Everything,
stuff being featured here as part of
And you know what I
GuyExpo.
like? Early in the night we talked about the nostalgia. This is the home. This very GuyExpo compound, this Sophia exhibition compound, is the original home of GuyExpo. And I'm glad that it is still home. It came back home and it hasn't moved from home. You still get that feel, that sense. There, even though there are so many people here, there's an intimacy about being at GuyExpo.
Yeah, and as you can see on your screens there, President Ali taking some pictures with our famous warriors, some of the members of the Guyana Amazon Warriors team. You know that the Amazon Warriors will be playing in the Global Super League, which starts next week. That's November 26th. So taking some pictures there with some fans and obviously some of the players that are here
And if
as
you
part of
notice, there are
GuyExpo
the
as well.
young people there.
Yeah.
The youth. Yes. Minister Waldron is a part of the walkthrough.
Well, the important thing is one of the things we mentioned earlier is the mere fact that you see a lot of the cabinet members and the ministers are here, and a lot of the team from the different ministries are here as well, and so they're going to be accompanying the president on the walkthrough. What I like is the mere fact that when you go through or you go to the different booths, and you are able to really get a sense of what each company has to offer. And the president really takes his time to interact with a lot of these booths when he walks through.
Well, he's so good at that.
Yeah.
He's a natural. He's a natural with that. And if you notice, he just took a photo with, looks to me like some cricketers.
Yes, you see the Global Super League
Yes.
there, which is going to be happening right here in Guyana from November 26th. It's going to feature a number of teams from overseas. You have a team from representing the United Kingdom, Pakistan. There's a team coming from, I think there's a team coming from, if I'm not mistaken, Sri Lanka as well. The Amazon Warriors will be represented right here. And obviously, it's going to be one big party. You talk about the biggest party in sports, which is CPL. The Global Super League is going to be
Well, you know,
right on par.
whatever we're doing in this country, we do it at a certain
Of course.
standard and a
And
certain
the level of hospitality that we're able to offer as well.
I think we were born that way.
Yeah, the folks that are coming
Yes.
into Guyana. So President Ali and his team there again taking some photos, interacting with folks that are already out here this evening, Thursday evening. I'm very certain as we head into the weekend that this place is going to be chock-a-block, as we normally say, very, very filled, maybe filled to capacity. I'm not sure what the capacity of the...
Of course, I'm wondering if he's going to get a chance to visit all those booths, because the way the patrons are flocking for their photo op,
Yeah.
you know, young, old, across a group of young,
And
beautiful.
the school children.
The school children.
If we
beautiful.
can, we can talk about school children because he addressed them directly in his
Yes,
message a
talking
little while
about
ago.
their future.
Definitely.
And the brightness of their future, you know, how bright their future is because of all that is being put into the growth and development of this economy. He spoke about the infrastructure,
Yeah.
the infrastructure support for some of the same SMEs and some of the other industries.
Yeah.
And he spoke about transportation to support the development of some of these same industries, because you do your produce wherever you are, and transportation is necessary to get it to markets.
Yeah.
So he spoke about all, you know, those aspects that are key part of the development strategy.
Yeah, and importantly, one of the measures that will really aid and has aided, particularly as relates to the transportation sector, is the reduction in the excise tax on fuel.
Yes.
And I know that that's one of the things that really helped to catapult the growth in the manufacturing sector, and obviously, particularly as relates to transportation as well, it was very integral in as relates to making transportation cost affordable, because a lot of these small businesses may have to be moving their produces from one place to the next,
other,
and
especially
it
the
incurs a
perishables,
cost.
you know. So that's very important and very, very important. I just saw the joy. Look, the joy on the young ones' faces. I know they're going to talk about this tomorrow at school.
Of course. I mean, you get a chance to get a picture with the president, and you are able to, as we say, show off on your friends. You know, I
Yes.
met the president. I had a chance to get a picture.
And you know, of course, if they
on
have
social media. What I will do for the social media, for
bragging,
boosting
that's
the
some
social media.
bragging rights, you
Yes.
know? I was able to meet the president.
Certainly,
Yes.
certainly, and I like the fact that for the youngsters that are here this evening, they get a chance to really interact with our leaders. Sometimes you just see your leaders on television, or you hear their voices on
yes.
radio.
They're
but
touchable.
they're definitely, and the fact that they're so down to earth, and you get a chance to really interact with them on that personal level when they're out in public is really fascinating. And I think those students and young people that are here will remember these moments for a very, very long time to come. So as President Ali makes his way to visit some of the booths, he's still being thronged by people who are
That's
here.
what I'm saying. I'm not sure if he would be able to get to those booths.
Definitely.
He just gave a pound.
Yeah, and the thing we mentioned earlier is the fact that he's always willing to listen. There are so many people that are here and who oftentimes want to take a picture, maybe just want to offer a word to him or whatever, and he stops and he listens. And the mere fact that you mentioned, there are so many agencies that are here as well. When the president travels, there are a number of agencies that travel along with him as well. So if there are issues particularly related to what
I know that for a fact.
that they're directed to
The right agencies. Yes, I know that for a fact.
support or assistance that is needed.
I know that for a
So
fact.
that happens every single time the president and his team goes up.
Yes. I hope he gets an opportunity to visit the booths.
Highly unlikely to get to visit every single booth.
I think he'll have to come back another night.
300 thereabouts, but he's taking his time and walking through and really interacting with a lot of the young people that are here. And like I said, the social media
Yes.
moments are continuing with a lot of the young folks that are out here to get a chance to take a picture with the president. GuyExpo for the opening hours again for those folks who maybe know.
Tomorrow for the schools, we open at 12. Every other day we open from 2 to 10. Come out, get the experience. It's affordable, $500. Children 10 and under free. Buy your tickets before you get here if it's possible. What you want to do is spend your time in here rather than in the ticket line. Go to GuyExpo, the Facebook GuyExpo, just plain GuyExpo, and you'll see the ticket locations. I'm sure there's one in your area. Buy your ticket. And so when you come here, you just walk straight in and start your experience.
And it certainly is an experience indeed with the valuable companies that are represented here at GuyExpo 2024. You're talking about a diverse number of
Yes.
companies that are here.
Yes.
Came from one.
No, we have the
You have companies in every single sector that are represented.
like he's going to corn man. corn man.
Literally all around the country. I can tell you this. In
He's the one who's very poetic.
Yes, very, very poetic. I've seen him in release.
I won't want to repeat some of his poetry, but he's very lyrical,
In terms of his
very lyrical.
definitely.
Yeah.
For the president again, just making his way to some of these booths, but not before being stopped by folks to get pictures.
Yes. The kids are just running to get the photographs.
Definitely. I can't remember when I was younger if I ever had an opportunity to meet the president like this, but I think, again, so many of the young people who are here will remember this for such a long time.
Yes, these are memories created. And I want to say, if we have this number of people here tonight, could you imagine what's going to happen tomorrow night?
That's what I'm saying, and you're heading into the weekend as well.
Yes.
It means that a lot of folks who don't have to go to school, families who don't have to go to work, parents who don't have to go to work, you can imagine what Saturday and Sunday and Friday night, tomorrow night is going to be out here.
We're bracing ourselves. We're bracing ourselves.
Right, and importantly enough for those folks who are wondering in terms of security, it is a very secure location.
It is. You can, if you're driving, we have parking. The parking is just $1,000. That's nothing to pay for your sense of safety and security. And Lyndon said early in the night, and I like it. I like it as a tag. It's a safe space.
It's a space.
Yes, and so we encourage you to come down.
Yeah, even some of the folks that are visiting
Yes,
as well, getting a chance to take a photo.
and have a word with the with the president.
I
Yes,
must say the diplomatic corps showed up again. A number of the folks from the diplomatic corps were out here this
they were in their numbers this evening.
definitely, and it shows the level of interest that people are taking relates to what Guyana has to offer the world. And it's definitely on show this evening. Guyana has been on show, and it's continuing out here at the Super Exhibition Complex for GuyExpo 2024.
Yes,
Guyana is going to be on show for the next few nights.
and as someone said, it's on show. I think it's the minister. Oh, my minister. She said Guyana is on show every day.
Every single day.
Every single day we're on show, and I'm talking the good on show.
Yes.
You know, our finance minister Ashley Singh, he is doing the walkabout too, if you notice, and giving a listening ear
Yeah.
to.
That's what I said. A lot of the cabinet ministers, and as you see them in the background there, you see the Minister of Agriculture,
Yes.
you see the Minister of Home Affairs there as well. You saw the Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs. And we saw the Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Binti Prasad, as well there. So all of these folks are accompanying the President on this walkabout. And
Hi, Naren. Hi, Naren.
talk with a lot of folks that are here. And certainly want to thank
All right, I'm still on. Let me talk to the person.
Yeah, remember to spin the wheel tonight. Get a chance to get some exciting prize. You can also win yourself some tickets to the Global Super League games right here in the Guyana National Stadium. Let's go. Today, our future creating. Here I'm stating, we want the rating. Hope on a bread, no deliberating. No making it been frustrating. Something to the better in our life we making. Because
I should.
That's what people are
Sign up, huh? Wear that shirt. Wear that shirt next time. Wear that shirt. What end up there? So it's upside down, what for the week?
Oh, my boy, how are you? How are you, man? Let's see. We do this every year, and I love it. I've done lots of skills to find out. Yeah. Hey, my guy, how are you doing?
There you go.
Thanks to the UN ambassadors. Thanks to the UN, the Guyana ambassadors at the UN. How are you doing? Everything. All about Pakistan. And all about, you see all these black shoes that they're wearing? It's all here.
Thank you.
Come down, sir. Come down to the side. Good. Come on.
Yes, dancing. Okay.
I think we should.
Wow, glad I got it.
Yeah.
The UK market, best, 100% natural. Pickle cucumber.
Yeah.